Hey guys, today I'm going to go over how to replace the bushings on a Minn Kota Ultrex. They are just these little flimsy plastic pieces. There are also some inner bushings, but mine are good right now and they don't tend to break nearly as much as these outer bushings, but you can get to them all from the same spot. So I'll show you how to get down to that point on the trolling motor and then how easy it is to replace them. Big issue on the Ultrexes, and I'll show you here. Basically, they're either going to crack in here. This is where the small bushing that I'm gonna have to replace is in between this outer portion and like the frame of the actual trolling motor. But usually you'll find like a broken piece of this laying in your carpet. After you pull this up or put it down, you hear a cracking noise. And the other telltale sign is push left and right. See how just like sloppy that is and loose that is? Yeah, it's not supposed to be like that. So I'll dive in here and show you how easy it is. You basically just need a Phillips screwdriver and then I think a Torx. I'm not 100% sure what size. I'll let you know here in a minute. But all you gotta do is pop this plate off here, just 3 Phillips heads. And then there's a Allen head actually up here that you're gonna need to take this trolling motor part off. And then you'll just have the support base itself, whatever you wanna call it. And then you can get in here to these bushings. All right, so the first thing you do is take this plate off, which is just 3 Phillips heads. And my front one's actually broken, if you can see that or not. Get these out of the way so you don't drop them. And then you gotta finagle this trolling motor head a little bit to get that off. Don't let your fingers get pinched, that'll hurt. So now I have the side plate off. You can see the little bushing that's broken. Here's the new one. It's actually going to sit in here like that when it's all said and done. But before we can get to that, we need to take the actual trolling motor itself off of the mount. So in order to do that, you've got a little 1/4 inch Allen head right here. But the easiest way to do this is to actually unstow this, get it in the down position, get it locked, and then you're also going to want to put your Velcro strap over it or something as a little bit of a safety. I like to, at least, because you have this big gas shock right here, and right now has no tension on it, but whenever you put this down, this is going to load up. That's what helps you pick your trolling motor up with a lot less effort. So when you take this big heavy thing off, if you don't have it locked down up here in a notch or at least strapped over so it's holding it, this thing's going to want to shoot up and could definitely probably hit you in the head. So you don't want to do that. We'll get this unstowed and we'll take this bolt out here and go from there. The best way to do it is kind of grab it and control it on the way down. Make sure your transducers or whatever doesn't hit anything on your trailer. I can swing my trailer tongue out of the way so it works. All right, now hopefully you can see that this is latched. It's caught off in the bracket, so that's not going to go anywhere. Next we'll take the Allen head out. And like I was saying, I like to put a strap over it just as a little security in case that latch did come undone. All right, now here comes the fun part. This thing's actually relatively heavy and you got all your like transducer wires and stuff over here. So I like to pick it up and kind of set it over here on the deck of the boat. Kind of pick it up like that and lay it down. Now just remember that this is going to be under tension whenever you unlatch it. Now that we've got the actual trolling motor off, you set it up to the side. Now we need to get this up and back and get the tension off of it. I like to keep my strap loose but still connected. Give me a little insurance. And then you're gonna pull on this, but you can't just pull on this to get this to come up. You also need to take this latch right here and push it down like that. If you don't push this down, like so, I don't know how well you can see in there, your bar that you pull towards you with this cable, it'll stop and your latch won't actually clear and you'll never get it open. Push down on the trolling motor head, get that open. You can see that's got a fair amount of tension in it. Pull that down and then you can slowly let this up. When it gets vertical, then it no longer has any tension on this gas shock. Now we're going to take T30s out. There's one here, and then mirrored, and we'll take these out and be able to lift this whole assembly out. All right, now you can just pick up this whole assembly here, and it comes right out. So when you're actually looking at putting your new bushing in, you can see how it's not even. It's pushed forward on this. There's a ton of space here. You may be able to push this forward enough to get your new bushing in there, but if you're having trouble, a lot easier way to do it is take out these Phillips screws, one here, and then you can actually free up this gas shock from this and rotate this independently to get your bushing in there. So you're going to want 2 Phillips screwdrivers to break this because it's like a sleeve. So you have a short little bolt here, and you have basically just a sleeve that's threaded on the inside that goes through there. Once you undo your gas shock here, your strut, sometimes this can still be a pain. So what you need to do is actually come to the back of the trolling motor here and pull this back again, and you're also going to have to mess with this latch from earlier as you pull this back, and that's going to allow all of these components here to drop, which is going to give you a ton of slack and movement down here. So I'll easily be able to slide my bushing back in, and then we'll be able to start reassembling this whole thing. All right, so once we get everything slid back in here and in place, and it looks nice, we're going to put our gas shock back on. You got your 2 plastic sleeves, and then your metal sleeve that came with it. So you put this in here, get 1 plastic sleeve on. Get that lined up, a little bit of Loctite on here, especially if you're running rough water. It'll help keep things from having to tighten them up so often. So we'll kind of get this started, and we'll grab our backer. Get that nice and tight. All right, next we'll put the Torx back into the actual mount here that holds kind of the bushings together. Same thing. Remember, a little bit of Loctite holds the world together. All right, once that's tight, you can release your trolling motor again. Once you get into the upright position like this, you're going to have to apply pressure on the way down. And before you can latch it in, you're going to have to push on this little catch again in front to get it to latch. Like I said, I always put strap over top because I don't want this thing to come off somehow and this pop up and hit me in the face. That would not feel very good. So now we can slide our trolling motor head back on here, tighten it back down, and then put the side plates back on, and we'll be done. Get all this lined up again. Make sure when you put your trolling motor back on that you get the head indexed correctly again. If possible, when you set it down, you could flip-flop it the wrong way, and then when you bring it up, you don't want to smash your trolling motor cords. Once you get your trolling motor head on, we'll Loctite on your Allen bolt, and then put that back in to the head here. All right, once you get that tight, that's pretty well it. You take strap back off there, and you can slide your cover back on your side plates and screw these back in, and you're good to go. A little bit of Loctite will keep you from having to constantly tighten all these things. All right, and that's all there is to it. Get your side plates back on. Not too hard. Pretty much give the rest of this a wipe down, get all the greasy stuff off there. So it looks nice again. Pick your trolling motor back up. Now with the new bushing on there, you can see much less play. Moves the whole boat now. That's what you want. You don't want it to be having all the extra slop and stuff. It's harder on the rest of the components. So one other thing here while I'm talking about the trolling motor and have it out is a little bit of preventative maintenance. That is basically just grease this, give it a little bit of oil. Not a bad idea to do it down here at the hinge bushing area we were just at. Make sure all your screws are tight on your side plates and things. Same with your shock. Check all your bolts, screws, tighten everything down on your actual trolling motor head. These things, they take a pretty big beating in the water, both stowed and unstowed. If you think about it, there's a lot of force both ways when you're turning the trolling motor and all that. So that's why you want to make sure that your bushings and stuff are not worn out or sloppy. And sometimes they're not really even broken. It's like they've just been used for so long without braking that they kind of start to wear down and get thin in spots. And it's good to change them. So, check for that. And then another good thing to check for is always take your prop off every once in a while. Look for fishing line. Prolong the life of your trolling motor. You got seals and stuff in there. You get fishing line in there, and it'll burn up those seals and it'll get water inside the head. So hopefully this helped you. If you have to, change the bushings on your trolling motor, or if you notice it's starting to get a little bit sloppy, that's the reason. So order some online. They're cheap. I think the ones that I put in today are 95 cents at Bushings. So you may as well order 4 of them or 6 of them. And then the inner bushings aren't bad to have sometimes either, but they tend to last a lot longer. They're metal. It's the outside ones that break because they're plastic. So hopefully that helped, and thanks for watching, guys.